guys, back with you with another math video, and today we are going to complete lesson 1.8, and we're going to problem solve with comparison problems using addition and subtraction. And this is a lesson that has so many different parts to it, so I thought the easiest way for you to get it would be with the interactive student edition. So I'm going to step out of the frame, but I will be back at some point. Ready to get started? Let's solve comparison problems using addition and subtraction.
How can you use the strategy draw a diagram to solve comparison problems with addition and subtraction?
All right, boys and girls and parents, this is our essential question for this lesson. So can you read this with me? How can you use the strategy draw a diagram to solve comparison problems with addition and subtraction? I know you did great fluent reading when you read that. So let's get started.
Hi there. I've been admiring the beautiful trucks that come to the diner. Looks like a big yellow truck is about to stop here right now. I wonder how much that truck weighs.
Boys and girls, Miss Gardner is wondering how much this truck weighs as well. Do you have a prediction? Go ahead and make it, and let's see if it's right.
That yellow truck weighs 14,350 pounds. Wow! Here comes another truck. And it's an even bigger one. I wonder how much this red truck weighs. Yikes! The red truck is even heavier. It weighs 19,501 pounds. You know, I think to compare these two weights, we should subtract the weight of the yellow truck from the weight of the red truck. Let's go see how to use diagrams to solve comparison problems like this one with addition and subtraction. It's a great way to go.
Now, boys and girls, before we get started, let me just point out, you are going to see subtraction and addition problems written straight across. The easiest way for you to work those problems, boys and girls, is going to be to stack them. Write the 14,350 directly up under 19,501 and then start subtracting. Ready? Let's compare problems.
Let's look at a problem together. How can you solve this problem? First, to solve the problem, what do you need to find?
Boys and girls, before we even start finding anything, I want us to always read the problem first. So read along with me as I read this problem. On its first day, the Hot Air Balloon Festival attracted 16,445 people. On the second day, 19,830 people came to the festival. How many more people came on day 2 than day 1? Boys and girls, if we were in class together, now is where I would say Boys and girls, let's turn and talk with our groups to see what it's asking us to find. And that is something we should always underline. And then circle the important information to get you there. So if our board will cooperate, we're going to do that together. I know that it's asking me to find how many more people came on day 2 than day 1. So I should circle that because that's what it's asking me to find. And then, boys and girls, I need to go back in and circle the important bits of information that I am going to use to solve this problem. Well, I know that on the first day, how many people came? Correct. 16,445. And on the second day, I know that how many people came? Great job. 19,830 people. Now, also important is the key words or our clue phrases. How many more? In a word problem, how many more is hint, hint, key phrase to tell us we are going to subtract. Let's get into what do we need to find in the problem.
You need to find how many more people attended on the second day than on the first day. To solve this problem, what information do you need to use?
We just found that information, right, boys and girls? Let's see if we were correct by clicking what information?
You need information about the number of people that came each day. On the first day, 16,445 people came. On the second day, 19,830 people came. That's more people than on the first day. Now that you know what you are looking for, let's make a plan to solve the problem.
Boys and girls, whenever we have a problem that we need to figure out, it's always best to start with a plan.
To solve this problem, how will you use this information?
How are we using it, boys and girls? Let's find out.
You can draw a diagram with the information.
Bar
You
model!
can use a bar model. You can use it to write an equation. You can use the equation to solve the problem. Now we are ready to solve the problem.
Are you ready to solve it? Let's go.
Since we are comparing the number of people for the 2 days, let's place one bar above the other so we can compare them. Here's a bar for day 1. Since day 2 had more people than day 1, show it a little bit longer and above the other one. Since we're comparing the number of people, this space shows the difference between the 2 days. We can use a bracket to show this amount. How can we use the bar model to write an equation?
Do you know how we can use that, boys and girls? Before I click this button, I want you to talk to whoever is helping you with your work and see if you can figure it out. Have you talked? Let's go.
Day 2 minus day 1 equals the difference. Let's fill in the values for each day. How many people attended on day 2?
Boys and girls, how many people attended on day 2? 19,830 people.
19,830 people attended on day 2. How many people attended on day 1?
And boys and girls, how many on day 1? 16,445. Great job.
16,445 people attended on day 1. Subtract to find the difference between day 1 and day 2.
Boys and girls, remember I told you When you see them straight across, I need you to stack them up. I have 19,830 minus 16,445. Now 0 minus 5 I cannot do. So I take 1 from my 3, make it a 2, and give that 1 to my 0 and make it a 10. So now 10 minus 5 equals 5. 2 minus 4 I cannot do. Cross out my 8 and make it a 7. Make that 2 a 12. 12 minus 4 equals 8. 7 minus 4 equals 3. And 9 minus 6 equals 3. Great subtracting. Let's see what our fox has to say.
19,830 minus 16,445 is 3,385.
Great job.
So there were 3,385 more people on day 2.
Good subtracting, boys and girls. Let's go to one more example.
Let's look at a problem together. A hot air balloon traveled 5,130 feet on its first trip. On its second trip, the balloon went 972 feet farther than it traveled on its first trip. How far did the balloon travel on its second trip? How can you solve this problem?
All right, boys and girls. Let's underline what it's asking us to find. It asked me to find how far did the balloon travel on its second trip. Now, I know I'm going to have to use 5,130 feet on its first trip. And I know I'm going to have to use that on its second trip, it went 972 feet farther. Let's hop into it.
First, to solve the problem, what do you need to find?
We just did that, boys and girls.
You need to find the number of feet the balloon traveled on the second trip. To solve this problem, what information do you need to use?
We just did that too because we're so smart.
You need information about the distance that the balloon traveled on each trip. On trip 1, it traveled 5,130 feet. On trip 2, it traveled 972 feet farther than it traveled on trip 1. Now that you know what you are looking for, let's make a plan to solve the problem.
We always have to have a what, boys and girls? A plan to solve any problem. Let's make a plan.
To solve this problem, how will you use this information? You can draw a diagram with the information. You could use a bar model. You can use it to write an equation. You can use the equation to solve the problem. Now we're ready to solve the problem.
Let's solve it, boys and girls.
Here's the bar for trip 1. Trip 2 was 972 feet longer than trip 1. How can you use the bar model to write an equation?
What do you think we're doing? Are we going to add or are we going to subtract? Let's add.
So trip 2 equals trip 1 plus 972. What is the sum?
What is the sum, boys and girls? I'll give you a moment to do it. Ready? 5,130 plus 972. I know that 0 plus 2 equals 2. 3 plus 7 is going to give me 10. Write my 0 and carry my 1. 1 plus 9 is 10. Plus 1 is 11. Write my 1, carry my 1. And then, boys and girls, 1 plus 5 equals 6. Good at it, boys and girls.
6,102. So it traveled 6,102 feet on its second trip. Hot air. Now let's practice with the personal math trainer.
All right, boys and girls, that ends it for this lesson. But now you know how to work comparison problems using addition and subtraction. It's been fun being in front of you on this video. I have enjoyed you. I hope you have enjoyed me. I can't wait to see you. And until next time, to my boys and girls, all of my families, parents as well, Miss Gardner loves you. Bye-bye.